So today we are finalizing what we had started. We started 4 weeks ago on personal growth. But the beauty is we record these sessions. If you would like to have the recording of the previous sessions, you can always put your, I was going to say M-Pesa. Wait, I love money.
M-Pesa zikuje pia watu watume pesa. Tupe
You put
urgently.
your email address on the chat and we will be able to share with you the previous recordings. Where it has just come out. No problem. So last week, when we were looking at personal development, we looked at the cost of being in the comfort zone, because personal development or personal growth is a personal initiative. And usually what we say is that, yes, nobody is actually coming to save you. Nobody is coming to help you. You need, Sylvia, I see people in the chat, so in the waiting room. Yeah. Yeah, so.
You make me a co-host.
Oh
I
my
cannot see
goodness, I
them.
didn't do that. Oh, sorry. I'm wondering why you are not, I'm wondering why you are not admitting them. Make co-host. Confirm. Yes. Great. You can now, you can admit them. Yeah, great. So we say that part of the reason why people remain in the same place is in the comfort zone is personal growth is hard work. You need to get out of the comfort zone. One of the things that we have said repeatedly is that there is no success in the comfort zone. And we had from the people who have joined this class previously, people sharing their experiences of how they have been passed for over promotion because they thought I work hard. But when it comes to promotion, sometimes you find people go back to see what have you been doing. And if there is nothing, people can't see that initiative of you even trying to better yourself, chances are you will be left behind. So the cost of remaining in the comfort zone becomes very high in that case. So today, we are going to be looking at confidence, and we say that confidence is usually built. One is not born confident. So, and I want to start by posing a question to us. And you can give me your responses on the chat. Have you ever admired someone's confidence and assumed they were born that way? Or maybe better still, you can think of that person that you look at and you feel they are actually so confident. I wish I could be that confident. Let me see. What comes to your mind when you see someone who is very confident? Do you imagine they were born that way? I want to hear some responses. This class is usually interactive. It's not really a lecture kind of thing. I want to hear some responses. You can even unmute. We are not many. You can unmute and just share with us what you think, what comes to your mind the first time you see someone who is very confident. Usually I don't answer my questions. So mukinyamaza tutanyamaza tu, imagine. Tutanyamaza tu. Who will save the day?
Confident person like me. I don't know how to answer this question because I am confident. So sijui, I can't say. Sijui niseme nini juu I don't know what it's.
You've never seen another confident person more than you and you're wondering, hey, that one is too much.
I think maybe I have, but I've never thought too much of it.
That's interesting. That's quite interesting. Yes, Felix, kindly you have put your hand up. you can share with us?
First thing that comes out of my mind when seeing a confident person is like President Ruto is the person I really look upon, not on the political side, but on the way he presents himself, the people, the way he goes with the context when he's addressing people of different, let's say, background, the way he articulates his words and uses some much of humor. Is a person that I really look upon and say, hey, maybe I can be that confident. Yeah.
Wow, great. So you imagine he was born like that, or what comes, you think, how do you think he became confident?
My thinking on how he became confident is maybe so much practice and maybe giving a little more effort on himself, because I do believe he came from a lower background, so much to say. I believe that there is a much of effort and some learning also that he put into it.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Felix. And I see Charles has said in the chat that, yeah, practice continuously. And it is true. Sometimes when we see a very confident person, there are some people who tend to think, oh, this person must have been born confident, or maybe he comes from a place where he's able to do that. Some people may think that people are naturally confident or fearless. There are people who are naturally outgoing. We have just heard from Cynthia, and probably that is what you could be feeling. But I'm here to tell you that confidence is not born. You actually build on it. When you look at people who are confident, they didn't just wake up and found themselves confident. They became confident by working on themselves through practice, as what you have said, through experience, and of course, they grew. They desired to grow, and that is important for us to know. Why? Because confidence is actually a skill. It's a skill that you can learn. It is a skill that can be built on. And so anything that someone has not been born with, it is very true that you can actually gain it. And so confidence is one of those skills that you can build, you can learn by practicing, you can become confident. So, but when we keep talking about confidence, what exactly are we talking about? We say that confidence is believing you can handle challenges, not believing you will never fail. There's a difference. There's a difference when you believe that you can't make it, believing that you will fail. But when you believe that you can do it, it doesn't mean that you will not fail. But that belief is extremely important for you. So when you think about confidence, it's not a gift to say that someone was born with it. It's a skill, and it can be developed just like any other. So confidence is just believing, just having that belief and resolve. Yes, I can do it. I know I can do it. It doesn't mean that you will not fear. It doesn't mean that you will not feel nervous at times. It doesn't even mean that you will not make mistakes. And it doesn't even mean that you don't doubt yourself. There are those moments when you don't feel confident. But the fact that you believe you can do it, you can handle that challenge, the fact that you believe in yourself, it makes all the difference. So we say that confidence is actually taking an action that you do know that I can do it, even when you feel the fear. I remember one of our coaches kept telling us, do it afraid anyway. Even when you know something is too big for you, sometimes you see like that goal is too hard for you to accomplish, just go ahead and do it anyway. Because when you're not, you will never say that you will never be afraid, but we say do it afraid. It is okay. So confidence is when you actually take action despite that fear that you're feeling. Even when you feel nervous, you go ahead and give yourself that motisha. You know, the motisha you give yourself. self-motivation so that you take that step, even when you feel nervous. It is trying to just achieve something despite the uncertainty that comes with it. And it doesn't matter. You keep learning. Even when you have made a mistake, you keep learning. So the biggest myth that people have about confidence is that most people wait until they feel they have no fear, or you are waiting to feel confident. You will not get confident just like that. Confidence usually comes when you take action. You're taking action, you're feeling afraid, but you tell yourself, no, I still have to do it. I will go ahead and do it. And even when you fall, when you fail, you wake up and you move on, because you know you have already told yourself that you can make it. You have already believed that you have what it takes to do it and to make, to be successful. So you don't give up. You start. Even when you fall, you rise again and you keep going. That is how you build your confidence. So we say that confidence is not the absence of fear, but it is the willingness to act despite the fear. Even when you feel like, wow, things are not working out very well, but you still go ahead and you act. So action is what creates the confidence. If you're not going to take any action, then you will never know whether you can do it. It doesn't matter how many times you have fallen. In fact, we say, if you have never fallen, it's probably because you haven't tried anything big. But when you try something big and fall or fail, it just gives you another confidence. It gives you that resolve to keep going. It helps you arise and continue taking another action, because you never know. You've already convinced yourself that you will do it. The challenge that we see is that many people are waiting to feel confident before they act. Yet that doesn't happen. It is not going to come. Feeling confident is not going to happen just like that. I will speak when I feel confident. I will start when I am confident. That is what has kept a lot of people from doing anything, because confidence rarely comes before action. And that is something that I want you to take to heart. Confidence rarely comes before action. When you take action and you fall, or you fail, or you fall, that is what will give you the confidence. I think the best illustration that you can think of is a young child who is learning to walk. That child will walk, fall, but they will get the confidence. In fact, the more they walk and the more they fall, the more confident they start getting. The next time they start walking, yes, they may be afraid a little, but the fact that they made one little step is what gives them the confidence to keep moving. And that is the way we need to think about when we are talking about confidence. Yes, it doesn't mean you won't fall. It doesn't mean you don't feel the fear. It doesn't mean you do not feel the uncertainty, the nervousness, but the fact that you don't give up, the fact that you have taken that action, is what gives you the confidence. And as we continue, I would want you to share probably a situation or something that you did. You were afraid to do it. For those of us who have left employment, it wasn't very easy to make that decision to leave employment. For some, I know it may not have been an issue, but for many people, especially after being unemployed for a very long time, they do not feel confident to get out. But they will never be confident until they get out. Or even when you are starting a business, it doesn't matter. As long as you are still in your cocoon, feeling okay, then you will not. So every attempt, every conversation, and every challenge builds evidence that you are capable. And that is why it is important for you to keep taking action. You already tell yourself, I can make it, I can do it. I know I have what it takes to do it. So once you take that action, it doesn't matter even if you don't succeed the first time or the second or the third, but it gives you the confidence to keep going because you have seen you can do it. So the key point to take home there is that action creates confidence, And whenever you are waiting to get confident, that will never happen. It rarely happens that way, that you become confident when you're waiting. So it's important for us to remember that. Now, there are some 5 confidence killers, and it is important for us to know them and to remember them, because sometimes we may not think much about things, but they keep coming our way. First and foremost is you looking at yourself in comparison to other people. Sometimes we may think we don't do that. We may think that only teenagers do, but even as adults, we do that. We do that quite a lot, and that kills our confidence. The minute I look at myself and compare myself to another person, probably in the same profession or in the same field, and especially in this era of social media, it is very easy for you or me to feel inadequate because we are comparing ourselves with another person. The major challenge is that many times we compare ourselves where we are with another person who is probably far way ahead because we don't know them. We are comparing their finished product with our starting product. It's like you are on the first line doing a 100-meter dash, and you're comparing your energy or where you are with the person who is at the end or almost getting to the end. It can never be the same. The challenge with comparing ourselves with others is that it tends to kill our joy and it just demotivates us. So it is important for us to know, if you're going to be confident, just compare yourself to yourself. How was I yesterday? Am I doing better today than I was yesterday? Don't compare yourself with anyone else. Okay, the second killer is the fear of failure. We have dwelt a little bit on that. If you're going to fear failing, then chances are you may not start anything. But is there any success without failure? Hardly never. Hardly never. The people who have been very, very successful, if they give you their stories, you will learn that they have failed very many times. They have failed big. That is why they succeed big. So if you're not ready to fail, then probably you are not going to get confident. So fear of failure is something that keeps people from becoming confident. Perfectionism. And this one, I keep hearing people saying, I'm a perfectionist. But the challenge of being a perfectionist is that it kills, it keeps you waiting because you don't want to start until you become perfect. Yet, perfectionism is not something that we attain when you are on this side of the earth. You need to start, fall, and perfect it as you move along. So if you fall in that trap of saying you're a perfectionist, chances are you will not start many things. You will be there being afraid to fail because you don't want it to be out of what you want. You want something that is perfect. So that perfectionism is also a killer of confidence. Negative talk. What are you telling yourself? Every morning when you wake up, do you tell yourself you can make it and you're confident that you can make it? Or are you telling yourself, oh, it's so hard, I can't do it, I can't make it, it's not easy? No. What you're telling yourself, and we say it is so powerful, more powerful than what other people will tell you. We don't like to be told negative things. But you can imagine it is better to be told from outside than you telling yourself negative things. That negative self-talk is so much more powerful than the external negative self-talk. So it's important for us to keep asking ourselves, what are we telling ourselves? What are we telling ourselves? Because if you keep seeing the impossibilities, chances are you will not get confident. And finally, inaction. When you're not taking action, it simply means that you are not going to, you're definitely not going to move. We have said that confidence comes with action. When you take action and you fall or you fail, then you will be confident as you go on. But if you don't take any action, chances are you're not going to be confident in the long while. Now, it is good for us to keep interacting. I would want to hear a little bit, maybe something that you have felt about. A confident person makes his or her mind quickly. I like that. You can continue chatting. Put your thoughts and insight that you have had, something that you know on your chat, so that it becomes interactive. I'll keep checking the chats just to see what you're saying, because I would want this to be something that you're interacting with. What other confidence killers do you know? What are some confidence killers that you have experienced as an individual, or things that you know?
I would say imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome.
Imposter syndrome. What do you mean?
Imposter syndrome is when you doubt yourself and your abilities, and you feel like you are not the same person who accomplished the other things before, so now you're not like feeling confident about the position you're in.
Yeah. Feeling like, yeah, you have been given this position and you feel like, do I really deserve it? You keep second guessing yourself. And second guessing yourself is common, and especially with us ladies. Yeah. It's interesting that you can see an advert and you think you have what they're asking for. And I have seen that quite a lot. Then you realize there is this one thing that they're asking for that I don't have. And a lady may actually not apply for just that one reason, that they feel there is just one thing they do not have. And you see a gentleman coming along and they probably don't have like 3 of the things that are required, but they will apply and they will go for the interview. So I would want to hear from the gentleman, what is that gives you that confidence? For women, we keep second guessing ourselves. What about the men? My worry is overconfidence, where you ignore facts or advice. Thank you, Bernard. Yeah, that is also a challenge. For men, pressure is the push. Yes, overconfidence. By the way, you need also to balance, because overconfidence is also not a good thing. It's a negative thing, because when you're overconfident, and you ignore, as you're saying, you don't look at the whole situation as it is. When you fail, that could crush you harder than if you had not tried. So be careful not to be overconfident. When we talk about confidence, is that drive that you have. You're saying, yes, I can do it. You're not allowing negativity or fear to pull you back. But be careful not to be overconfident, that I am so confident I will pass that exam, and then we see you not passing that exam. So it is important also to have that balance. Yes, but it is a thin line between now being overconfident and fear, because you don't want also to be bogged down by the second guessing yourself. So it's a balance that you have to look at and strike a good balance. Great. So where do we get confidence from? How do we build confidence? How do we build confidence? I would want to hear some thoughts before we share what I have. How do we build confidence?
I listened to some of the notable public speakers and people who've done things, for example, Richard Branson, and other local people who are inspiring, like George Washuri, James Karundu, motivational speakers, and what they are doing, and also watch movies of people who've tried new things and have succeeded. So with that, it builds the muscle slowly by slowly, then you find that you're on gear 6 or gear 4, somewhere there going up.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That is learning. You're actually learning. You're learning from others. You're observing. Thank you, Eric. You are trying. You know, the fact that you're trying. We said when we started that you have to keep trying. Yeah, telling yourself, yes, you can do it. I can make it. And you try. And not giving up when you fail. Yeah. Look for what needs to be done. Study what other confident people do. Study what other people do. But small things like keeping a promise to yourself. One of our coaches told us how he kept putting, you know, the way we put on an alarm in the morning, you promised yourself you're going to wake up at 4, you set the alarm, and then when it rings, you snooze. And I know I do that. Sometimes you snooze it. So that is a promise that you've broken to yourself. Small things like those, if you keep repeating them every day, they erode your confidence. So when you can't keep a promise to yourself, there is a way it makes you feel so bad about yourself. And that by itself erodes your confidence. It may look very small, it may look very insignificant to people, but those small promises that you keep breaking to yourself will erode your confidence. So if you want to build confidence, make sure that you keep the promises you make to yourself. And that will also mean that you keep the promises that you make to other people. Then they will see you as a person who is reliable, and that by itself tends to build your confidence. Develop the competence. Learn. This is where learning comes in. You won't get confident without the competence. I have seen, as I do coaching, sometimes when you have someone, or when I'm at training on sales, someone is really struggling to sell. They lack the confidence. And one of the major challenges that we find is when you examine them more, they may not have the proper product knowledge that they require. Without that, confidence will not be there at all. So even when we talk about selling, whether you are selling a service or a product, if you don't have enough information about the product you're selling, you will not have confidence. And that is why this topic of confidence is very important, especially when we are talking about selling, whether we are talking about leading, even leadership. If you are not good, if you're not developing yourself, the people you are leading are going to see through you. And when they see that, that there is some information you do not know, number one, they will not trust you as they ought to. You will lose credibility with them. And the minute you lose credibility with the people that you're leading, then it means you can't lead them from a point of confidence. So build and develop the competence that needs to be done. That is why we say, as a leader, you cannot be someone who is not developing themselves. And this goes for every other career. You could be people may see you and think you're good, but you know yourself, and you know you may not have that competence that is required to make you become that confident person that you want to. So competence is extremely important. We must be comfortable being uncomfortable. Okay, so you have to embrace discomfort. What we have been talking about throughout this month is that personal growth is not comfortable. It is actually getting you from a comfort to an uncomfortable position. So you must embrace being uncomfortable. So you must embrace being uncomfortable. If you want to be comfortable, we have said this and I will repeat it, there is no success in the comfort zone. So you must get out of that comfort zone if you desire to be successful. Do things that majority of the people do not want to do. You are not many on this call. There are many people who would probably not even think much about coming for a call like this one. Why it's not comfortable? They probably just want to chill at home because today we had a holiday. They just want probably to chill, but you chose to come. Hey, sorry, you choose to come. So that means you have to sacrifice something. There must be something that you're sacrificing. Why? You have to get yourself out of the comfort zone. Last week, we said that being in the comfort zone is expensive. There is a lot that you will lose. So you cannot build your confidence when you are hanging in the comfort zone. So you must embrace discomfort, whether it's discomfort in your pocket that you have to pay for a course, whether it's discomfort in terms of the time. Sometimes you may need to wake up very early in the morning so that you can do something extra or sit up late. There must be some discomfort that has to come with it. How else are you going to develop that competence that you're looking for? You have to celebrate progress. We usually say we are not aiming at perfection. Remember, we said perfectionism is one of the things that still are killers of confidence. Don't wait to be perfect. Start. Celebrate every milestone that you make, every progress that you make. So we say progress over perfection, because perfection is actually what will keep you away from confidence. Okay? Any questions? Any comments? So learn to celebrate small wins. Learn to celebrate small wins. Okay, 4 minutes. Pressure, let me see. Loving yourself is enough. Well, Nyanjugu says that. Yeah, that also makes you confident. It's part of developing confidence. You can't be confident if you don't love yourself. If you don't value yourself, it's difficult for you to be confident. Thank you about that. Great. Now, the power of confidence. Confidence is what will open doors to leadership, to opportunities. And I like what Cynthia said here. She said how she's confident. Last week, she told us how she quit her job and just left. And she didn't even think much about it. There are people who will walk through a room and people will just respect them. They will feel that room. You will feel their presence because of the way they have carried themselves, because of the confidence that they walk in. And because of that confidence, even small things like dealing with the police, you can get away with the police just by the way you are confident. So confidence is a good thing to have. It's a good skill to learn. It's a good skill to master. For those of us who are in sales, without confidence, trust me, doors will shut. Doors are just going to shut in front of your face. But when you're confident, it is very easy for people to open the doors for you. You find that opportunities keep opening up to you because you are a confident person. People want to hang around people who look like they really know what they are doing. Of course, also relationships, it helps you also keep building those relationships because you are not afraid. You are okay with yourself. You know yourself. And that is important to know. And of course, it's part of the growth. It's part of growth. Remember, we said you can't just be confident from that. It is a skill that you learn. You have to be intentional about developing yourself, learning new things, learning new competencies, and that is what helps you also in the growth journey. Okay, now, I don't know where you are in terms of your confidence journey. I don't know whether if you were to rate yourself from 1 to 10, where 10 is the best. I don't know what score you would have. And by the way, you can be confident in one area and there are other areas that you may feel you're lacking in confidence. So if you were to rate yourself, you would be able to know where you are. But I would want to leave this 30-day challenge, confidence challenge to you. Because you understand where you are, find out what is that one thing that I have been not doing. Or maybe I have been dilly-dallying saying I will do it, I will start. You know, the way we have said waiting for perfection, or you have been afraid to do it because you thought, if I do it and I fail. So I want you to think about, what is that one thing that you know for sure you have been pushing back a little, procrastinating about it, not wanting to take the action. I want you to promise yourself that you will focus on that one thing and take action this month. That every day you are going to take a step that is going to get you closer to where you want to go. Whatever it is, whichever area, whether it is in speaking. You know, there are some people who are so afraid to speak in front of people. Just try. Give it a try with 1 or 2 people and see how it goes. Whatever it is that you feel you are not able to do or you have pushed very far, it is good for you to see yourself. Let me see what people are saying. Eric gave himself 6. Are you sure? There is homework imekulemea. Homework imemlemea huyo. Let's see what there's someone else who has said something. Keep them coming. Let's hear what you guys have to say. Where have you, Eric will probably tell us that. Is planning part of confidence? Yeah. Those are some of the things I said. If you're good at planning and you follow your plan, that gives you confidence. It builds your confidence. It's part of building your confidence. If you're able to plan and follow your plan, because a lot of people are not able to. We plan, but we rarely follow our plan. So that is also part of giving you confidence. Eric, would you want to share with us what you mean by homework? Because umeweka homework hapo, hatujui ni homework gani hiyo.
I'm in a class, and I'm supposed to give homework last week. I've dilly-dallied up to now.
Ujapeana?
Yeah, sijapeana. So I'm running from the class.
You're running away from the class. So you are going to take action to do your homework.
Yeah, after tomorrow, I want to face I'll face myself.
Yeah, face your fears. We say face your fears. Yeah. So when you have confidence, you notice that a lot of things now become easier for you. If it is leadership, when you're leading with confidence, it becomes a lot easier. You strengthen your relationships. You grow, your career grows, because who wants to promote someone who doesn't even look confident, doesn't look like they know what they want? Nobody wants to promote that kind of a person. So confidence opens doors and opportunities, as we had said. So it is important for you to remember that. Yeah, it also improves business performance. If you're going to pitch for your business and you have confidence, people will be willing to listen to you. If you're going to sell and you don't have that confidence, trust me, it's going to be very difficult for you. So take this step, take this challenge, ask yourself, where do I need to work on? What do I need to work on for this month? And see what happens at the end of the month. Okay? So final message, we don't wait for confidence. Imagine where your life would be if you stopped waiting to feel ready. Don't wait to feel confidence, just start. What opportunities would you have to pursue? Maybe opportunities that have passed you because you didn't have the confidence and you kept saying, you're not yet ready, you're not yet ready, you're not yet ready. You just need to take action, just one action, and that is it. Because you will never feel confident if you're not taking action. Okay. Just begin. Just start somewhere. Take that first step. That is what is usually difficult. When you take it, confidence will definitely follow. Okay. All right. As I come to close, I want to say that confidence is built every time you choose courage over fear. Every time you choose courage over fear, that is where your journey begins. The journey to confidence, because confidence is not something you find. It is something you build every time you choose courage over comfort. Every time you take action over excuses, and every time you choose growth over fear, because sometimes we just are afraid, and I don't actually know what we are afraid of. So it is important for you to always remember, you choose courage over fear. Great. We are actually done with this. I would want to hear a few responses before I proceed. Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to see. Anyone who would want to share with us their confidence journey or lack of it, their confidence or lack of confidence? When we started, we said this is actually the final session of this month's series. And in case you would want to get the recording, you can always drop your email address here so that we can share the recordings with you. And I think there are some that have been shared on the chat. Great. For those who are new here, this comes to you courtesy of Alisa Coaching. And I just wanted to share briefly what we do at Alisa Coaching. We are certified as coaches. We are growth, leadership, and life coaches, but we are also, I'm also a sales trainer. So we also do a lot of sales training. Now, some of the things that we offer at Alisa Coaching, we have different programs. Our Leadership Foundations is good for the people who are coming into leadership for the first time. If you have been promoted to a position of a leadership, you are not looking after people, you are not working with people before, this is a very good program, because what usually happens is that you're promoted because you are good at what you do, but you haven't been prepared to lead people. That is a completely different ballgame, and we have seen a lot of people fail because of lack of that. So for Leadership Foundation is good, is something good that equips you. Then we also have a program where we do one-on-one coaching. This one we do with the mid-level and senior level management, because those ones, they are at a different level altogether. There's a lot of responsibility that is on their shoulders, and many times they walk a lonely journey, because in the organization they may not have many people that would understand the kind of life and the kind of decisions that are required of them. So executive coaching is usually one-on-one to people. And of course, our sales training, this is what we do almost on a daily basis. We really love working with organizations to just help them and their people know how to sell, because we understand that if you're not selling, then it is a very, very frustrating situation for any business owner. So we help people in the organization, irrespective of whether you actually have a sales background or not. We promise to make you a sales champion. So the program that we run under here is called Become a Sales Champion. And it is important for any business owner, because you didn't start your business to come and sell. You started a business probably because you love what you do. But then you realize that, well, I have to make money. So that is where sales training comes in. It helps you get good at that. Now, right now, we have a program, what I've just talked about, to become a sales champion. This is currently registering. We usually run it for a period of about 5 or 6 weeks. So it's currently registering for the month of July. We'll be starting that cohort in the month of July. So you can register, or if you want to inquire, you can. So we do sales training, and we do sales training. This one is a general one. When we advertise it here, it's a general one that we offer virtually, but we also do specific ones where we curate the program for your business and the unique needs that you have as a business owner. It is the same, we just modify it. This week on Saturday, I will be training a team of about 25 people in sales. So this is something that we do. We can do it generally. When we do it generally here, it is general. But when we come to your organization, we curate it to fit the unique need that you have. And we also do sales training for those who are in sales, maybe sales management. We do coaching for them as well. Yeah. Then for business owners, we want to introduce you to a summit that is coming in August. August 26th and 27th. This is actually an Africa program. It is going to bring together African business owners, very successful founders who have built very boldly. So we will be bringing them. I'm sure if you follow me on my page, you will see the ads. So we are encouraging our African business owners to register for that. The early bird price is $39. It's a virtual program, but it will be run for 2 days, 26th and 27th of August. I would encourage you to join because we will be having people from East Africa, West Africa, South Africa, actually across Africa. And we have speakers from all over. And why that is important is that you get to understand what are the other people doing. Because our goal is to see our businesses grow, scale. We want to hear Kenyan businesses operating in Lagos. We want to hear Kenyan businesses operating in South Africa. Nothing is stopping us. So this Upgrade 2026 Summit is a good one. If you pay before the end of July, you'll be able to pay $39. After that, you will pay over $50. So take advantage of that.